other sensations. At times these signals can be quite strange. Some will feel a tickling on their nose. Some may feel a gentle caress upon their cheek of some type. There are many different types of signals, as there are many different masters. Some of you will require a little more distinct signals, depending on your level of receptivity. But this can be provided to you, and will be, if you are patient. And you can experiment in this way in your meditations with your teachers. And if you are not familiar with who we are, which teachers are working with you, you can ask. Perhaps we will introduce ourselves to you in an experiential way. So work with us in your meditations and familiarize yourself with us. Make it a practice. Have it be a playtime for you, a time of enjoyment, not a time to be overly serious or self-critical, but a time to experiment and give in to the enjoyment of your spiritual growth. You might say that your interaction with the Masters is like the icing on the cake of your meditations. For we can come through and speak to you, or come through and share energetically with you in many ways that might even overwhelm you with joy, or fill your inner beings with light. And as you work with us in this way, we will begin to work with you in fine-tuning your receptivity so that you can channel messages to yourself and to others if you desire. And always it is the presence of love and the presence of the Master that indicates to you that you are indeed channeling. There are times, and there will be times, when you may doubt, and there will be times when you are receiving and perhaps even channeling, and perhaps you will affect the channeling a little bit with your own desires or attachments. This is perfectly understandable. You are not to become self-critical with regards to this. This happens within every being who is channeling, no matter what. There is no such thing as a perfectly accurate channel at this particular time. There are always a few colored statements that may come through. But for the most part, the vast, vast majority of what comes through and what will come through to you is truth. Know that channeling and receiving messages is not of a purpose to predict the future or to use for any type of parlor tricks or activities. It is for spiritual guidance and growth. And we will not come through and predict what will happen to you or to others, this sort of thing. We will give you statements of general nature regarding spiritual growth and the transformation you are undergoing and the planet is undergoing. Perhaps give you guidance with how to relate to it. So again, do not be too self-critical with yourself. Do not allow your own desire for perfection to interfere with your experimentation and giving yourself to the practice. As you practice, you will become quite proficient. And you will come to be able to rely upon those feelings and those intuitions, and they will be your best friend in your life. Your guidance will become as if you are walking hand in hand with the Masters. And then those times where you feel fear or where you feel mistrust or doubt or some other difficulty, you simply have to reach out and feel that hand which is holding yours. And in feeling that presence, you will feel that reassurance that you require. And receive messages of assistance and presence and trust. So, know that what is transmitted to you is truth. Do not get overly caught up in facts. Facts are not truth. Ideas are not truth. Only truth is truth. And truth is that presence of truth that cannot be spoken, ultimately. It is reflected in these words that I speak to you, but these words are only reflections of truth. They are not the truth. Each one must know the truth individually, uniquely, for himself. So that is the purpose. And that is your focal point and your focus in your communications. Getting to the truth, as I said, finding out what the heck is going on here anyway. So, my dear ones, it has been such a pleasure to be with you. I would like to have a meditation time. I would like to answer any questions also. So now is the time when you can ask your questions.
I have a hard time telling whether I'm receiving information or not. Do you have any pointers for me besides what you just said?
It is a trial and error situation, you see. I would say, if you receive a message verbally of a certain ideas or transmissions of this nature, I would say for you to feel the presence that is associated with it. You see, your mind can generate many thoughts, but your mind cannot generate the presence of the spiritual master or the presence of your own higher self. So if you can tune yourself more and more in meditation, I think you will open your discrimination a little bit more so that you will be able to discriminate. It is not easy at this time. There is much of confusion, and it is that you are seeking to liberate yourselves from these limitations, but the limitations are not completely gone and will not be completely gone for some time. So, if you receive a message that you are not sure of, ask for the validation of it. Perhaps go into a deeper state of meditation and ask for a validation. If you receive the message again with increased presence, then there is a very good chance that it is a true message. If you do not, then perhaps be a little bit more, use a little more discrimination. Also, you can use your feeling nature also. You need not simply rely upon your ability to hear a message. How does it feel to you? Does it feel like truth? Take it into your heart. Your heart knows much more than your mind does about what is true and what is real. And also, if it is not something that is too critical in your life, you can experiment. If you receive a message to do some particular activity or to go in another direction or something, if it is not critical or life-threatening, perhaps you could experiment and take a few steps in that direction. And then see how you feel. See if you feel closer to the presence of your guidance, of your master. See if you feel more spirit within you. And then you are pursuing a correct path, or you are following a true message. Trial and error, I would say, unfortunately. The more you will give yourself to meditation and the more you will practice, the more clear you will become. But no matter how clear, there will always be messages or thoughts or feelings that you are not certain of. So you do not need to feel that if you do not act on a message immediately when you receive it, that you are missing the boat, you can ask your guidance for clearer message, or perhaps to receive a message in another way, to receive validation in another way. Do not be afraid, or do not feel that you have to act immediately upon any particular suggestion or message, or share any particular message that you might receive towards another. You are not to feel desperate in your communications. You are to feel that you have all the time in the world, and if you do not feel clear about it, come back at a later time and ask again. Give yourself all the time that is required. Desperation will only cause you to cloud the issue and cause more static. If there is a message that is meant to get through to you for a profound or life-saving purpose, believe me, we will get it through to you. We have our ways and means.
Could you tell me anything about the experience I had this week with an owl that flew into my car, and I seemed to hold and it seemed to fly away and
I have heard the story. Let me see. I will see what I can come up with.
And was the next day when I called Nancy and the owl landed on the cave, was that a message from the owl to let you know it was okay and you could tell me that it's okay?
The owl had a message for you. In fact, it had much for you. It was much more than a simple message. It was an entire process, as you know. I think it had to do with your acknowledgement of the fact that you live in a safe universe, that your acknowledgement that you live in a miraculous universe. And indeed, the owl's presence is an indication to you that it was somewhat of a miracle that occurred. So let this be an opening to you for more miracles, and I think also you did some processing at that time, which was emotionally quite beneficial. So you may say that the owl was instinctively acting on your behalf, serving you in some way. There is a connection with you and your Native American heritage that is in alignment with the wisdom of the owl, you might say, also. So perhaps you could say, on that level, it is a sign that your wisdom is indestructible. I have never met anyone with an owl for a guru before, but it's possible, I suppose. At least in that particular instant, yes. You see that life is our strongest guru. The experiences of day-to-day living in the third dimension, for those of you on this spiritual path, acts in a way that no ascended master or no spiritual guide can act, to push your buttons and to create a response within you. So the response that is created by your various interactions with human life or earth life are your strongest lessons. This is the place where you receive a great teaching and a great release, you see. Great release of emotions that have been trapped and this type of thing. So acknowledge that the world is your teacher, for it is. We are your guides through the teachings that the world has for you. You may treat the world as your teacher with utmost respect and awareness. and gratitude. You will all see what I mean by this very shortly when you have gotten out of the third dimensional limitations. Then you will see exactly what this has resulted in insofar as your growth, and you will understand why you even chose to be here. At times, I'm sure within your present situations, you have a difficulty in understanding why you ever wanted to come here. It is a rather dense atmosphere. It is a rather difficult. You have to obtain money to live. You have to do various things that you would not ordinarily care to do to sustain yourself and to keep the life going. All of these activities. But very shortly you will have a full understanding of why you chose to be here, why you chose this form of teaching, and you will receive the full benefits of that choice. And you will be very, very grateful, as we are grateful for the choice that you made. Any more questions? Very well, let us do our little meditation this evening. You have all been doing so well and focusing so intently. We will take it one step deeper, one level deeper, and work with you a little bit more on your receptivity. Enhance the process a little bit deeper, so that you can have a little more fun in your lives, a little bit more depth in your relationship with who you are and with your brothers and sisters. So simply breathe with me. My only direction or guidance with this meditation will be to ask you that if you are one who has a desire to enhance strongly your receptivity and your channeling abilities, your ability to receive messages, and to open in this way, I ask that you affirm within yourself and ask for my assistance and ask for the assistance of your guides, and all those who are present here. And we will take that as a sign that you wish for us to maximize your experience of opening in this area this evening. Otherwise, you may simply sit and breathe with us, and we will, for a few moments, escape to reality. So simply breathe and enjoy. So, my beloved ones, again let me thank you for this opportunity to share with you and to be present in your beauteous emanations of love and light. I love you all so much. There is so much appreciation for you, so much love for you, much more than you can imagine, much more than we can express. Please continue in your paths, continue in the unfoldment of your missions, continue in your unfoldment of your faith and trust, in your guidance. Be patient with yourself. Love yourselves. Know that you are never alone. I hope to see you again, to be with you again in this way. It is a great honor for me, a great pleasure to come through and have this opportunity to be so verbal. Perhaps next time we will be a little less serious. Again, I say to you, enjoy yourselves and play. Play with the masters. Play with your guides and your guidance. It is a time to enjoy. The victory is ours. The victory is already ours. You need not feel that you must battle darkness. The victory is won. It is time for you to appreciate and enjoy these days, this consciousness, this experience that you live within. Savor it. Release yourselves from all fear and doubt. You are cared for. You are loved. Good night.